Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm back here in my little spot, trying to get some exercise. Um, so it's been kind of depressing here, just like everywhere else. But uh, I wanted to talk today about someone had left a comment on one of our videos about um, what effect is this going to have on the real estate market. And I replied back. I asked them, well, are they talking about the real estate market in the Philippines or the real estate market here in the U.S.? So I'll tell you a little bit about both, so what I think, in my opinion anyways. Here in the U.S., in my town, just outside of Boston, the real estate market has been booming for the past 5 years. Prices are astronomically high here. Just an average home that needs fixing up is about $650,000. That's a fixer-upper. That's just a single-family, 2 to 3 bedroom house. Most of the decent houses are in the 900 plus range. In the Philippines, where I am, in Anda, my throat gets dry if I start talking. In Anda, the market there is a small niche market in Anda. It's very expensive. It's very tourist driven. There's not a lot of land there because it's a small town. So that's why the prices are high. And all the good properties, most of the properties are near the ocean. And it's all beautiful white sand beaches there. So it makes it very desirable. And so the prices there have been going up, and up, and up, and up. And I read something about the Philippine economy not too long ago that is one of the hottest economies in Asia. Not anymore. Nobody has a hot economy anymore. So what happens when everything just shuts down? And a perfect example that I can give you guys is what's going on with the oil. Right now, there's all these stay-at-home orders, and no one's driving, no one's going out. There's no planes, there's no boats, there's no nothing, and so there's no demand for oil. But yet they keep pumping out millions of barrels a day, right? So what are they doing with those millions of barrels? They're just stockpiling them. They don't even have any place to put them anymore. They're putting them on boats. They're putting them on everywhere they can find a place to put these barrels of oil. They're putting it. And so what happens is the price keeps going down, down, and down because there's no demand, but the supply is still huge. And so the same thing is going to happen here in my area, in the USA. People who wanted to put their house on the market yesterday, today, tomorrow, they're not going to do it. They can't. You can't show any houses. It's not allowed. It's not allowed to show a house. Well, I should say it's not allowed to do any open houses. I think you can still show a house, but you as the agent, you're not going to want to meet people. What are you going to do? You're going to send people to the house, right? They're going to go look at it without you. And what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? They'll end up calling the listing agent, and if you're working with them as a buyer's agent, you'll lose the sale, or they're not going to buy the house because they don't know, they're going to have too many questions. No one's there to answer their questions. It's just not going to work. So no one's putting their house on the market. I still see a few listings coming on here and there, but nothing's selling. You can't even do a closing right now. So what happens? What's going to happen? So right now, you're interrupting the supply chain. So the houses are going to stack up. So this is going to go on for at least a year. So you're going to have this huge inventory. In about a year from now, when things get better, and in the meantime, between now and a year, the prices are going to keep going down, 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 and down. And then once a market gets back in full swing, you're going to have this huge inventory. And what happens when you have a huge inventory? You have a buyer's market. And in a buyer's market, the prices are favorable in the buyer's side, The buyers don't have to overbid. So what goes on here right now in this market is that you go to an open house, and you put a house in the market, right? And most people don't, when they put the house in the market on a Monday, but they'll say no showings until the first open house, which will be that Sunday. So for a whole week, there's no showings. Then come Sunday, there's like 100, 200 people at the open house. And then what happens? You'll put in disclosures. Offers are due by Monday morning, 10 o'clock. So you have less than 24 hours to write an offer. And what happens is you end up having to write an offer, sometimes $50,000 to $100,000 over the asking price just to get the house. So that's not going to happen anymore. Those days are going to be long gone. So in a nutshell, the prices are going to come down. The inventory is going to go way up. And it's going to take years to recover from that. I would say it's going to take about 3 to 5 years to recover from this disaster as far as the real estate market goes. I could be wrong, and these are just opinions, guys. No one knows. I mean, if I could tell the future, I would have stayed in the Philippines. I wouldn't have come here, and I can't even get what I need done. I can't even get it done. So it's just a waste of time, and I'm too far away from my kids and my wife. So in the Philippines, it's a different story. Properties there don't really sell that fast. Some of them do. Some of the really good ones, if they're priced right. But in the Philippines, there's no pricing. There's no comparisons. There's no, how you decide to sell a house is you have to research what's been selling. But in the Philippines, you can't, unless it's just word of mouth, you can never know really what the price is, who's selling what and for how much. And most of the prices, I would say over 90% of the properties and the homes in the Philippines are overpriced. Filipinos are notorious for throwing out these ridiculous figures. Some of them end up negotiating down, but some of them don't. The best you can do when buying a place in the Philippines is just to try to find some happy medium. I don't know anybody who's really gotten a great deal on buying land in the Philippines unless you bought it 10 years ago. Or unless you want to live in an area like Bryan in Maricel, which is just, it's not close to the town. They don't really have a lot of neighbors. They have a lot of land. I wouldn't really say Bryan and Maricel live in the mountains like where Lynn's family lives, but it's rural, so you can find properties like that are a little bit much cheaper, much more affordable. But if you want to live near the water, if you want to live near the ocean like I do, the properties are much, much more expensive. So what's going to happen to the properties in the Philippines? They're going to go down. The values are going to go down. I don't think they're going to crash. I don't think they're going to crash like they will here in the U.S. The pace there is different. And the reason why I say that because the pace of buying and selling there is much, much slower. So by the time this all gets cleared up, you're not going to have this huge inventory piled up because it's just a slow process there. And to buy and sell a property there, it takes years because more often than not, the people don't have the paperwork in order. You got to get the right title. You got to get all the signatures. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. We're still waiting for our title. It's been over a year. So the Philippines, I think the prices will go down just like everywhere else. But I don't think they'll go down as drastically and as fast as they will here. The prices here are going to drop. Are going to sink like a ship. But in the Philippines, I really don't see that happening, especially in my area. Once things open back up, I would say it's going to take about 6 months to a year for things to open back up. Of course, I mean, I don't see anybody selling any property within the next 6 months to a year in the Philippines. But so I'm thinking, for me to get the value of what I think my property is worth today, I think it's going to take 3 years to see that value again in the Philippines. Maybe not 3, maybe 2, maybe a year and a half to 2 years. But just to be on the safe side, if I want to sell my property to what I think it's worth today, the value it is today, I think I'd have to wait another 3 years to get that same price again. Just my thoughts. And I also think that, maybe you can get a good deal right now on a piece of property in the Philippines because people need money. People are panicking, just like here. People are panicking, and they're gonna need money soon. And you've got all these people who own all these ancestral lands there, who really don't want to sell. But now maybe they have to because of the situation. Don't forget that the Philippine economy is tied to the OFWs. And just like everywhere else in the world, there's no work. Most of the OFWs, not most, but let's break it down. Where are all the OFWs? Well, they're working in hotels, right? They're working on cruise ships. And some of them are domestic workers. So maybe the domestic workers aren't really being affected, but that's just a small portion of the pie. I would say the larger portion of the OFWs are being affected because they're hotel workers and they're cruise ship workers. And all of that industry is gone. So what's that going to do? There's going to be no money coming into the Philippines. There's no tourists coming into the Philippines. So right now, there's $0 going into the Philippines. It's going to be a disaster. And if they open things up too soon, they'll spread that virus around so quickly that, half the population will probably die. So everybody's in a pickle right now. No matter where you are, everybody's in a pickle. But everyone just has to hang tight, be patient, pull in the pocketbook, tighten the wallet. I know that we're doing our part, Lynn and I, to conserve and not spend. And everybody else, that's how you're going to get through this. Things will go back to normal, but it's going to take some time. You just got to ride it out. So the real estate market in the Philippines, I think it's going to take a hit. I don't think the prices will drop as much as they will here. And I'd say about a year and a half to maybe 3 years is when it'll be back up and running to normal. But if you can find someone willing to sell, you might be able to get a good deal on a property right now. I know Lynn and I have an eye on a piece of property. And when I get back, I'm going to talk to them, see what they say. It's all about timing. If you can get it, if you can hit the time just right, you can really get a nice piece of property. And I'm not talking about, buying something where you're, screwing somebody over. No. I'm just saying, getting a good deal at a fair market price, because in the Philippines, everything is overpriced. If someone's property is worth 1 million pesos, they're asking 3 to 6 million, but it's only worth 1 million. So all I'm saying is that, now's a good time to get a piece of property for the right price. So that's my 2 cents, guys. I gotta go do my exercise. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Lynn and I are having some problems with some of our videos. They keep disabling the comments, and my guess is that there's somebody keep complaining about our videos. I don't know why. People just just seem to want to attack you for no reason. But in any case, hang in there. If you see a video that doesn't have any comments, just hang on. I can I can allow the comments to come back on. I just have to. It's just that I don't see that there's no comments. Then I look up in the screen and it says disabled. So what happens is somebody complains about the video and then YouTube disables the comments. And then I have to go back in there and manually allow the comments, and then we have comments again. So anyways, that's what's going on. Good luck. Stay safe, everyone. And see you in the next video.